With everything that's been going on, there's still one extension left. One guy that's extraordinarily important to make sure that we've locked up long term. Let's make sure we get Bill Zito signed for a couple of decades, huh, Vinny?
We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime! We're hanging overtime!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Alright, Panther fans. Got the Flyers tonight. This should be fun. This is going to be a blast. Now, hopefully, we don't get underwhelmed or whelmed or disappointed tonight. We've won a few games in a row. We've been on a ridiculous hot streak. First game back from a road trip that was, a little bit on the emotionally high scale. Sometimes those games don't go great, but Tarasenko, Forsling, Gadjevich, and there still could be something left on. We've got $3 million in cap, and I just heard that Genso went to the Canes, so that's an interesting development. Now, as for the Panthers, Tarasenko is expected to be on the top line with Barkov. I know some people are happy about that. Some people are less than thrilled about the idea, but that might be an overstatement. What I was kind of thinking was that you'd see him next to Lundell and Luosterainen. The theory being the top line has been scoring. We didn't really need extra scoring there, but we did need it on the third line. But the Rodriguez combination with Lundell and Luosterainen has been leading to them scoring. So it's fine. I think we'll be okay. Now, like I said earlier, I have a suspicion that at some point you're going to see Maurice move Tarasenko around to have him play with everybody. At some point, we're going to get into trouble into one of these games, and he'll do the line blender thing. You want him to have played with everybody come playoff time so that he has whatever comfort level he can get in the 19, 20 games we have. Let him get as comfortable as he can. So, Bubba. What a time to be a Panther fan. What a time. I always use this analogy, but I'll say it again. At some point after I started the channel, there was an argument on Twitter, and it was a serious argument. There were people for and against Seth Griffith getting an opportunity on the top line with Barkov. There were people that felt he deserved a chance to see what he could do with Barkov. Seth Griffith. We've come a long way. But like I keep saying, game at a time, tunnel vision, we have to finish. This one we have to finish. But we'll start it tonight with 2. All right, so no score after 1. Nice, even period of play. There were no penalties. Both teams look, engaged and into the game. Tarasenko's had a couple of nice little chances. Reinhart had a really good chance towards the end, but the puck was rolling. He could not get it to settle down. Ball was made a couple of saves. Not a whole hell of a lot going on. I will say one thing. I've seen the Flyers definitely went after Tarasenko twice. They've laid at least twice. It might have been 3. They've laid a few hits on him. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out, because we don't have anybody on that line that's really going to go after anybody. So it would not surprise me to see Bennett, Lomberg get involved a little bit there. I wish Gadjevich was on the ice. That's a whole nother situation. So maybe what we'll need to do is let's just start playing with 13 forwards and 5D and let Gadjevich get out there. I'm kidding. But Tarasenko's going to have to get used to getting it bounced around a little bit. All right, move on to the second period. So, Good game. Good game. No, nobody's scoring. It's still 1-1 after 2. I foresee a moment, maybe not this year, but sometime soon, maybe next year, the year after, and we will see a Florida Panthers versus the Philadelphia Flyers, a Eastern Conference Championship round. I was almost going to say AFC Championship, but that's a different sport, dumbass. The point is the Flyers. I think the Flyers Panthers series would be very similar to Panthers Canes last year. Flyers are a good team. They're whoever they end up playing in the playoffs. I guess it's most likely Carolina. Jesus, is anybody ever going to score in those games? That's going to be. You think the Panthers versus Canes went long in overtime game 1? Flyers Canes, they may never ever finish game 1. Move on to the third period. Panthers, give me 2. That's it. Fire the coach. Fire the GM. Move the team. Trade the guys. It's over. It's over. It's over. It was a good run. We had a good run, but clearly we've. Don't panic, people. I swear. If I see anybody panicking in my comments, I will not give the comment a happy face or any at all. No thumbs up, no happy face, no reply, no, none of that. I'll just leave it there on red. No panicking, please. We'll be fine. Of course, wouldn't it be that Tarasenko had the game on his stick with about 6 seconds left and shot it right into the belly of the goaltender? That would have been the Cinderella story if he could have put that one past this guy Urson, who's... Look, Flyers are a good team. They've got a good coach. They are playing out of their mind hockey right now to keep that playoff spot alive. And we look like we have pretty much most of the time when we come home from a road trip where we've done exceptionally well. So I'm not even going to, like I said, and remember, I said this before we got Tarasenko. I said the last game, I said, don't worry about whoever it is. We're eventually going to lose the game. Don't worry about who that is. So whether it's Philly, etc. Happened to be Philly getting us again with 20-something seconds left in the game. But we play Calgary on Saturday. I got a feeling that we will rejuvenate our energy on Saturday and look like ourselves. So there should not be any concerns there. Tarasenko looked like he's going to fit in that top line just fine. Back check, forward check. I even saw him lay a hit. We're good. We're good there. Maybe Maurice experiments a little bit, especially since we only got the 1 goal tonight. Maybe he wants to experiment a little bit that way. I wouldn't worry about a damn thing. I really would not worry about a damn thing. It was a fluky thing at the side of the net. That is the second time. In fact, the last game, Bob, the puck was kind of like in front of him, and he's off like looking that way. That's the second time that's happened. So hopefully he doesn't need to get glasses like Bob Greasy or nothing. I guess it would be contacts at this point. But I mean, there's nothing to worry about. We're fine. You do notice the difference in the second line. It seems like Bennett and Tkachuk were not quite as gung-ho as they were with Cousins out there. Fourth line was not as active, I think, to be honest with you. I'm not saying, Cousins works better on the second line with Bennett and Tkachuk than I think he works on the... How about this? Okay, let me make sure I'm making this make sense. If you have to have Cousins on the team, I'd rather him on the second line with Bennett and Tkachuk than the fourth line, because I think Gadjevich is better than Cousins for the fourth line. I think under these circumstances, I think it should be Stenlin with Lomberg and Gadjevich, and then Cousins off. That's what I'm trying to say, is that fourth line would be better with Cousins not on it. And I just think Gadjevich adds more at that spot. So there's that. Look, I am not any less pleased with the way that this team is going, with the deal that Zito made, and there's still going to be something tomorrow. I mean, there's no guarantee, but I really, really, really strongly feel, I put out a little short about this earlier, I feel like Forsling gets his contract, Zito goes back to Montour and says, I know you've been asking for this, but Forsling took this. So you're either going to take that, or we're going to go get Jacob Chikrin and get them to keep 50% of the salary, and then you'll be gone at the end of the year, and we'll have Chikrin here because he still has 1 year term next year, but it will be at half the price. Now, that's not exactly what Zito's going to say to Montour, but I got a feeling that's what's in the back of his mind. And Montour either needs to sign the contract, or he's going to know that he'll be gone next year, because you give the Forsling the 5.75. When you give Reinhardt, I assume 9, that's not going to leave more than 5.75 for Brandon Montour. So there's that. All right, Panther fans, don't even we had to lose a game. And it's funny because the last time we lost the game, I said if we just keep winning 5 and losing 1, we'll be fine. And this time we won 6, and then we lost 1. We'll be fine against Calgary on Saturday. Tarasenko will get a goal. Offense will have plenty of... We'll be fine. Now, I know that there's some of you that will be wondering and worrying about a possible matchup against the Flyers in the playoffs. They would be a massive pain in our ass, but I think our experience would take care of that. Plus, we'd have home ice. We would not be seeing the Flyers until and unless it's the Eastern Conference Finals. So they've got to get past the Canes and then likely the Rangers just to get to us. Not saying they can't do it, but look, if it gets to that point, we're going to have to play the teams that are there. I don't think that I would be overly concerned, but it doesn't mean they couldn't take us to 6 or 7 games. But I have confidence in our team. So the point is there's no panicking in the chat, and let's not worry about the Eastern Conference Final possible matchup just yet, because we got to win Game 1 of Round 1 before we can even worry about that. You follow what I'm saying? All right, no points. I will be live tomorrow. At the very least, I will be live tomorrow at noon for the review. Depending on what goes down with trades, we might go live earlier. We might stay on longer than the normal hour that we do. It just depends on what we wake up to, what's going on. Duke to Tampa. That much we know. All right, Panther fans, relax. We're cool. I'll see you tomorrow.